and welcome back to another episode of Energy If You Know, You Know, the podcast that provides a platform for the Gen Z workforce to share their unique perspectives, ideas, and aspirations as they shape the energy industry's future. I'm your host, Saloma, and today's guest we have Parag Bhoraniya. I'm going to let Parag introduce himself. Hey, Parag, how are you?
I'm good, Saloma. A very good evening from India. I'm doing good,
Welcome.
and a long weekend, doing some of the activities around. Yeah,
That's great.
and talking about myself, I come from the state of Gujarat, that is in the western part of India, and I am a petroleum engineer by background, driven with energy and digitalization stuff that is now going to rule the world. So yeah, doing good. A good journey till now. A very short career, but yeah, doing good and hoping for the best to come.
That's great. So, what motivated you to pursue a career in petroleum engineering?
Story starts from right from the school days. Like when we are in the 10th grade or ninth grade, we start to think about what we are gonna do after 12th. Are we gonna go for arts, commerce, science? So yeah, I personally like the social science. So if I would not have gone in science, I would have gone for like arts and would be
Oh,
doing some arts and something like that. But the main reason behind going into the science stream or choosing this kind of career was as a young, as a young person, we see different things around the world that goes on, like energy scarcity, the global warming, and different stuff. So there was a thought in mind that if I could be able to contribute to any of these solutions, even a little bit, that would be really great. So yeah, that thought driving right from the ninth or 10th grade, then taking the science in 11th and 12th grade, and then chose petroleum engineering. So the major agenda behind choosing petroleum engineering was that the field itself a challenging field. You get international exposure to work in different areas of the world. You get challenges at each and every point. Like as we say in our oil and gas language, that any piece of the earth that you are going to explore is unknown to you, right? Anywhere you go. So we are dealing with the challenges, right from environment conditions, knowing people, dealing with different technologies, etc. So the field was challenging, and I always loved challenges, different challenges. So yeah, it perfectly suited my aura of where I wanted to go. Yeah, so I chose petroleum engineering with that.
thank you for sharing that, Parag. I admire the fact that you took petroleum engineering as a career path to help the energy industry, find its ways towards global warming and find solutions in the energy transition. Other Gen Zers are looking at is we're not going to go more into petroleum engineering anymore because that's what's harming our environment and that's what's causing global warming. So it's good to see that you took that perception. You're like, no, I'm going to go and take this as a challenge and I'm going to go help the industry find its solutions. So
Yeah,
that's a great perspective, and thank you for sharing that.
thanks, Saloma.
How has your journey been so far from graduating to your career now in your current role? Are you still tackling those challenges, the ones that you wanted to tackle? How's your input? Can you share more of that?
Yeah, if I go on, right from the journey from being a student or let's say undergrad student, from being a graduate and into the career, we call it as a young professional. So yeah, that
Mhm.
stage is I'm currently feeling. So that was something that I always wanted to be, and I am at that place right now. And yeah, looking forward for a good career ahead. So talking about the changes that you find when you are in a college or when you are in university, there are certain things which your professor comes and says to you and you do it, right? Like kind of not perfectly called as a spoon feeding, but you get inputs, many inputs,
Yeah.
right? And then you follow that path. But when you come to the industry, you are not spoon fed, right? You have to make your own ways. So that's a kind of a change that you feel. Another thing is that the resources which you need to learn something are always available when you are in college. But when you come to industry, again, it's all about you, how you want to do it. There are resources lying in the industry. There are people who are ready to help you, ready to make you feel good about what you are doing. But as I said, it's all upon you what you want to do. So that's a kind of a change. You are in an open world now. Yeah, that's what I feel.
And that's difficult. That doesn't come easy. So
Yeah.
how did you approach these
Yeah.
learnings and adapting to these new challenges?
Yeah. So I think that the basics that you learn in your undergraduate, you should be very confident about that. So if your basics are very clear, when you come to the industry, you have that one strength in you, right? That if somebody questions you, you are ready with you are ready with your answer, right? That you are clear with your basics. Nobody will be able to question your basics, right? So that is the one thing, that a confidence of what you have learned should be there with you. So that helps easily to tackle in. And what I feel is the projects that you have done in your internship, or a small kind of projects that you have done with any companies or any kind of internal university projects. So the learnings that you have done, let's say if I'm working on the formula, I'm just doing a sum, that's it. But if I'm able to apply that formula in my project, then there is a practical sense that is coming in. So such kind of small experiences, the learnings that you have taken, just carry those learnings into the industry and try to apply them on the projects that are given to you. So you know taking up baby steps with the weapons that you have got from your UG definitely helps. So yeah, this is the way I tackle my problems, or I would say I approach to any problem. Yeah.
All right. And you mentioned about can you share with us what kind of skills did you adapt yourself from, instead of being spoon-fed by your professor, kind of
Yeah.
having to lead your own way and
Yeah.
carve your own path? What kind of skills or things do you do to kind of set your own path? And who do you go
Uh,
to for advice?
Yeah. So yeah, as I mentioned, that there is a change when you come from UG to graduate in a in your professional life. There is a change when you come from school to college. So in
Mm-hmm.
school, you are spoon fed everything. I can
Mm-hmm.
say that you are spoon fed everything, right? And when you come to college, again, it's a new place, it's a new playground to play in. So again, what happens is whatever is taught in the university class is not enough. It's not enough to carry it to the industry and apply it directly. You have to explore by your own. So as I mentioned, there are various resources. I have seen people always say that we don't have much opportunity. There are a lot many opportunities. You have to go and you have to search, you have to explore, you have to basically give your time in that. So that's what I say. The communication part is not something somebody will come and teach you. So that is something that you have to develop. So that comes by participating in various sessions, various workshops, various conferences that comes along your way. So apart from your study time, you have to take time out for these extracurricular activities which help you to grow as a professional. And this is the way you will build your confidence. This is the way you will build your aura against everyone. So I mean, then people will come from their side and will ask you, what should we do? So that's a kind of approach that we take. So basically the communication part, the collaboration part, and the teamwork is also very important. So wherever you get a chance, try to take a lead in something, let's say a college project or any activity or any group project. So try to take a lead and try to guide. And it's about a leader should also be a good listener. That is also a very good quality to have. So these are the small elements that you need to nurture by yourself and that are not spoon fed. And apart from that, you always have to keep a pace with the industry. So currently, if you say, it's not just about the technical that you learn, that's it. As I mentioned, that data is the new oil. As platforms, automation platforms is also something that you have to develop. So yeah, these are the skills which I worked on, and they are helping me a lot right now.
All right. So you're saying that there's a lot of opportunities out there, and in
Yeah,
order to find those opportunities, you need to seek out extracurricular
yeah,
activities, and not extracurricular activities, but to engage in conferences and networking and hackathons and whatever could come
yeah,
your way to kind of
yeah,
build your network and build your skill set. And you said that it's important for these young professionals to take leads on projects,
yeah.
whether that's in their college days or that's
Yep.
in their current role.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you say that? What kind of skills does one gain by taking the lead?
Okay. Yeah. So, being a leader helps you to see a problem with various, bird's eye view. When you are not a leader, let's say you are into a team of something, then your approach would be like, when your leader will tell you, you will do it. So that's the kind of approach naturally we have, and we keep on
Yeah.
following that. And we try to give our point of views, but that point of views might be heard, might not be heard. So there are various situations that comes. So when you take a lead, you have your own views to tell to the public, and you will get the reward back of it. So you will get many point of views of a point that you have made, right? So you will have a lot many aspect to think about and then work upon. So that will help us more structurally. And another thing that I mentioned is a listening skill. So we have seen, like in the history, we see many kind of leaders who are very much authoritative. They don't hear, so
Yeah.
such kind of leadership does not helps in a longer run. So this kind of leadership skills will help you to explore new horizons of your thoughts, explore new horizons of team membership. You will make new connections. You will grow smoothly, right? So yeah, that's why leadership is very much important. Yeah.
All right. And what kind of extracurricular activities or energy related activities are you involved in or were involved in?
Mhm. Yeah. I would just like to give you a short hint of a story from my UG. So, like I might mention this, later in the podcast if a question comes related, but just a small hint right now that in my third year of the college, or I would say UG, I got a chance to visit IPTC, that is International Petroleum Technology Conference. So that is one of the grandest petroleum conferences that happens across the globe. So I was one of the participant in that was selected globally. So that was kind of a proud moment for me. So again, that came when I researched into internet, or researched into many facts that such kind of things are happening. We can also participate if we make effort. We can also be there. So when we look to a bigger picture, naturally we keep ourselves down that, oh my god, I won't be able to make it, or how I would be
Yeah.
able to make it. So we don't generally see us there, but we just try to keep ourselves into the shell. But again, efforts, right? So a small effort made then, you never know, that you might end up to a very bigger opportunity. So that's what I did at that time. And I was exposed to IPTC. I got selected. So that was the kind of one of the major turning points in my career. I would say one of the bigger platforms that I got. And I believe that the hard work that I did in my whatever school life or UG has ripened me a fruit. So IPTC, why I'm mentioning it, that IPTC gave me many ways to think in different directions. So IPTC was something that I was involved in my UG times. So again, by visiting IPTC, I made connections. So those connections helped me to explore more opportunities that I'm involved in right now, right? So I'd like to mention Jackie Hoffman. She is one of the person that I follow, who is from SPE, who really helped me, in many ways to explore different opportunities. So currently, I'm a part of SPE, that is a Society of Petroleum Engineers, and most of the petroleum UG would be a part of that. So in that, we have various international activities like Petro Bowl, student paper
Yeah.
contest. So currently, I'm involved with Petro Bowl as a question writer, as well as question reviewer in well and completions, production, reservoir, in every domain. So this is the way I keep myself connected, to the industry, that is the outer industry. Apart from that, I got a chance to judge a student paper contest last year. So again, at that time, I
Exciting.
felt, me being a very young, how I would be able to judge someone. So at that time, Jackie, made me felt that, you are obviously you are a graduate, so obviously you can judge undergraduates. So that, again helped me to build a confidence. I participated and I judged the contest. So, these are the activities I'm currently involved in, and I keep myself, open for any opportunities of any such opportunity that comes up. Yep. So yeah, these are the some of the energy related activities that I am involved in. Yeah, right now.
I have a gajillion questions going on in my head right now. Um, so let's go step by step. So let's go back to IPTC.
Yeah.
How did you start with that, and what I'm trying to ask is,
Mhm.
for you said it's intimidating, right? So
Yeah.
some people could put themselves in that shell and be like, oh, I will never ever get there. Can you tell
Yeah.
us how you got there and how you broke out of that shell and how you kind of pushed yourself and believed in yourself? Or can you also like share, were there your supporters, were there people that
Yeah.
pushed you? Can you kind of tell us about that journey for those who are interested and kind of intimidated
Yeah.
of going down that route?
Sure, sure. It
Yeah,
makes me feel, it makes me feel happy
yeah,
and, elated again to share this. Whenever I share this, I feel proud of myself because it's good to feel proud of yourself when you have, did something and you've reached there, and it helps to inspire many people. So
absolutely.
right from 2020, when I personally visited IPTC till now, every year when people apply for IPTC, they reach out to me from various countries in order to have you made applications, what are the
Okay.
things that we need to take care. So that makes me feel happy that I am being able to give them back what
Hmm.
I learned or what I tried in my days. So yep. So talking about what were my efforts, how I took myself out of that shell or I broke that shell, is I would like to mention my four friends that were in university. So we were a group of four people. So I was just sitting in my hostel room in the noon and I was just scrolling my phone, and I watched about IPTs and it just clicked there. And again, the same thing. I thought I would never be able to make it. I mean, we are very far from that. So I just went in, I just scrolled again and read the qualifications that were required to attend. So when I read the first qualification, okay, I am able to make it. Second one, okay, I am this. Third. So each and every qualification was something that I already had, or that were fulfilling the criteria for attending that
Okay.
conference. So that was the first thing that helped me that okay, now let's go second. Then I shared this with my friends. So at the first instance, when you share it with your friends, they'll make a joke of it, or they will tell,
Yeah,
"Oh
yeah.
no, we are not gonna make it." So that was the first reaction of them, and somehow I, made them, that let's just apply. What is wrong in application, right? We don't have to pay anything. Let's just apply. So somehow, I convinced them, and then we took the help of our faculty mentor, who is Bhavani Singh Desai in PDPU. So he was our faculty mentor. So we went there. We told sir that all the eligibilities are something that we are fulfilling. So can you give us a chance to apply? So we asked him to mail to Jackie, who was conducting the IPTC at that time. So we mailed them. We got the application form. We made the application. Then we also had to make the application video on why you want
Okay.
to attend IPTC. So there will be lakhs of students applying from the globe. So how they will judge? Through an application and through a video statement that you are making. So just a funny part, if I see my IPT statement right now, I'll be laughing, that how I used to speak in those days. But at that time, that was something that you did very confidently. So we shot the video. So these are the small efforts that we made to complete our application. So
Okay.
applications were submitted, and then there was a period when we have to wait for the results. So there was the last date. I perfectly remember the date. It was 7th November or 6th November, and that was the last date when we were about to get the results. And the day was ending, and I thought like now it's over. We are not gonna receive because we had not received any communication till date. And I was just following my hostel room in the evening, and I thought now it's over. I just want to forget it. That I made efforts, but it
Yeah.
did not happen. And when I slept, I just took my phone and a notification popped up in my email that you have been selected for IPDC, and
Yay.
rest is history. Like that was the moment. That was the moment that I realized that, okay, small efforts or the hard work that we put in really ripe you the brightest of the fruits. And, this is something that you always work for. So this is my message to everyone that just try with your whole heart. Okay, don't try to copy someone. Obviously you can take guidance, but make your own presence felt. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Yeah.
I like that a lot. It's very important that everyone tries and everyone says, but I did it. I tried. But I don't believe that everyone tries with their whole heart and like are genuinely intentionally trying.
Yeah,
They're just trying so
exactly.
they can scratch, like
Yeah,
check it off in a
yeah,
box, but not
yeah,
genuinely and intentionally trying. And I always tell that to
yeah,
my friends that are applying to jobs or are seeking out advice from people like I didn't that guy didn't reply to me. I messaged
yeah,
this recruiter and I'm like, if you're sending a generic message that looks like you've copy pasted it to seven other
yeah,
recruiters, I don't think they're going to be inclined to reply back to
exactly.
you. But if you
Yeah,
make it more personal and if you actually put
yeah,
intent into it, that you'll have a better chance at getting what you want. So
yeah.
that's a great message.
Just one thing that I want to add
Yeah.
here before we go ahead to a next question,
No, yeah.
that I always believe in this, that make that much ample amount of efforts that even if you don't get the results, you should not be questioning yourself or you should not be regretting that why I
Yes.
don't get it. You should be that
Yes.
much confident that the efforts made by me were up to the mark. That's it.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I completely agree. Absolutely.
And that helps you to, explore new opportunities again, and you keep on trying and trying. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it helps you in that face of in case of rejection. Be like, well, okay, I tried. You won't take it to heart. Be like, oh no, I'm not worth it. It does help once you put your all into something.
even after even after IPTC, I tried for many other conferences. I did not got selected. So that's
Yeah,
that's okay.
yeah,
Sometimes it
absolutely.
happens. Sometimes it does not. So yeah, it's all about the efforts. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that you shared that.
Yeah.
How do you manage your job and all of these commitments? And your
Okay.
engagements with SPE and all of these, how do you manage?
Okay. So there are two things, or we can say there are two ways that one can choose. Is if you've got a good job, you do your work, you come back and relax, and you earn money, and that's it. That's life. That's something that we want to do. And there is something that you have still that flame in you. You have still that energy in you. That no, this is not enough. I
Mhm.
still want to do more. There
Mhm.
is more something remaining that I want to do. You see some icons in the industry, you see some of the legendary faces in the industry, and you feel like I want to be there someday, maybe not up to like them, but at least try to reach them, right? So
Yeah,
that kind of thought continuously does not allow you to settle, and I personally don't like to settle in less. So if I'll get something, I'll not be settled. I want to do more, I want to do more. So that continuous thought in me, I feel that it's good. It's an habit, it's a good habit, I would say. And I just cross fingering myself that they should be there in me for the coming years. So um, when I come back from my job, it's all about managing your work. So you finish your work, you come back. You have weekends, right? So on weekend
yeah,
you can obviously, relaxation is important, but apart from relaxation, take some time for this kind of opportunities, for this kind of engagements. So again, it's kind of a passion, or it's kind of an habit that you cannot do it by forcibly if somebody's telling you.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's something you can't force, especially if you're not getting paid for it. You know?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
uh,
It's
it's it's
passion.
it's purely a volunteering. Purely a volunteering. It's purely contribution of your own skills, of your own learnings, and sharing it with the wider audience that is dreaming to come into the industry. That's it. So it's a kind of passion. Yeah.
Yeah. And have these activities directly influenced your work and your current role?
Uh, so again, as I said, that learning never stops, right? So you gain some of the skill set from the university times, and you take that skill set as a root, and you use them to do your work, or you use those kind of basics to reach to your goals in
Yeah.
professional life or project completion or anything. So again, as I said, there is never stoppage of that learning. So I keep on exploring different things in those small things. So let's say if there is a communication, so it's not like I'm perfect at English and I'm perfect at, doing things. So I'll still try to find those opportunities to make it more and more better. So there are many activities that goes into the company as well, or outside the company as well. So I try to keep myself engaged. I try to, speak more and more, try to keep my views, and yeah, those things definitely help in
Okay.
keeping your confidence up to the mark. So as I
Yeah.
said, there will be instance where you will fail, continuously will fail, and there are chances that your confidence will drop.
Yeah.
So who will help you to, bring that confidence right again up to the mark? It's you. Somebody will come and, try to explain you that you can do this, you can do that. But
Hmm.
until and unless you feel to do it, you will not be able to do it. So again, those kind of strength that you did when you were doing good, when you remember those stuff, when you remember that, yeah, there was a time that I did something good, is was something because you have that strength. So again, remembering those things and bringing back yourself to the pace, so continuously sharpening your skills and sharpening your basic skill set definitely helps to improve your project results, or let's say your career results.
All right. Yeah, I agree. And do you seek out advice from mentors?
Yep, I do seek out advices from the mentors, and I feel it's very important, aspect. It's never like you'll be able to take your decisions so wisely in your early careers, personally. So, being to have a mentor is really a good thing, but to have a good mentor is really a blessing, that I would say. So, luckily I got good mentors throughout my journey, right from my school time to the to my professional life. So in professional life, to have a good mentor is really very important, right? You will not be able to identify who is good for you, who is not good for you, because there is always a room of competition, right? Nobody, I mean, you always have to deal with that, right? So to have someone who is guiding you good, with keeping all his personal milestones behind, taking time behind you, is something like a blessing. So I do seek out for mentorship time and time again, with the people from my company, with the people from SPE, or let's say from my college as well, from my professors. So it helps me to think in different ways, it helps me to take decisions wisely.
So can you I've heard that a lot from most of the guests. I agree completely. It's very important to have mentors. Um, and mentors from different places, so they're
Yeah,
not subjective to
exactly.
one
Yes.
just helping you within your career, one helping you actually within your who who is Parag and who is his
Yeah.
identity. So it's very important. Can you share with us a piece of advice a mentor gave you that you carry with you throughout your career so far?
Okay. So there are two instances I would like to share. So one of the instance I strongly, still remember and will always remember, is one of the advice given from one of our strong mentors, or one of the finest professors, I would say, is SSP Singh from my college PDP, who was a production engineer back in the National Oil Company, and he was retired from that company, and he was teaching us in the university. So,
Okay.
and at that time, we were in our fourth year. That was the final year, and it was COVID time. So we were all locked in our homes, and reaching each other out through this meetings and calls and everything. So that was a very difficult time, I would say. So we were about to come into the industry, and this COVID came, and there was a huge setback in mind, that what will happen? Will we be able to make to a good job or not? So situations and everything was running into the mind, and you always question your confidence again, that what will happen, what I'll do. So at that time, we received one of the finest advice from my mentor, was that just keep trying and do not make choices. There was a time in oil and gas industry where you were able to make choices. Okay, I want to go for production, I want to go for reservoir, I want to go for drilling. So there was a time when you were able to make the decision that I want to go there. But in current times, the times have changed. So, and with the expansion of the industry, and expansion of the industry towards renewables, towards digitalization, that decision making is something that you have to keep slightly behind, that choice making slightly behind. that whatever opportunities you are getting, you just take it and just learn, and try to reach to your goal subsequently from there, but do not miss anything. So if you are getting one opportunity and you say, no, 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 I don't want to do this, I'll wait. No, 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 I don't want to do this, I'll wait. No, don't do that. Don't do that, because there will be chance, there will be a position where you will be unplaced and you will be alone. You will not be having any job in your hand, and then you'll regret for the whole of your life that a small opportunity that I got, if I would have taken it, it would have been good. So do not miss any opportunity. Take all opportunities equally. Be in that opportunity, use your skills, work there, and try to reach your goal which you aspired for. Yeah, so that is the one advice that I got from my mentor, that do not make pick and choose in current times. You just take whatever you're getting, because many people even don't get that.
That's
Right?
true. That's true. But that's very good advice that came at a time where the industry was
Yes.
was at a halt, the industry was confused. And I think
Yeah.
from then on, you saw how dynamically
Yeah.
advanced the industry is moving. It's moving at a fast pace towards
Yeah.
energy transition, digitalization. It's moving fast, fast, fast. And
Yes.
if you're not hopping on to any train that makes a stop
You're
from where
gone.
you are, that you're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss it.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
that's very an interesting point of view, especially coming out of school during COVID. Um,
Yeah.
and very valuable advice. Did that play a role in your interest in digitalization?
Sorry, can you repeat? Yeah.
Did that play a role in your interest in digitalization? Your years
Yeah.
in
Okay.
COVID and yeah, not wanting to be
So
just a traditional
yeah.
petroleum
Yeah.
engineer.
Yeah. So along with the traditional oil and gas knowledge, so as I told that keeping behind the traditional knowledge and just running behind digitalization also does not work, because
Mm-hmm.
you have to be very clear with your basic traditional oil and gas
Mm-hmm.
knowledge, the definitions, the formulas, the relations, the anything that is there, right? So that is the base, and then you use your base to learn different digitalization skill, let's say Python, or let's say different kind of automation tools like Power BI, or Spotfire, or anything, or any
Yeah.
kind of language like C, or SQL, or anything. So what you do is you use that knowledge of your traditional oil and gas. You take a case study from somewhere, let's say from solar engineering, or let's say from any kind of civil engineering. You take a case study, then you replace that case study with your oil and gas case study, right? So that replication, and then thinking of how this will work in the oil and gas industry. So you try to replicate those problems, you try to replicate those codes of let's say any kind of language codes into oil and gas industry, and see, enter your formulas. Let's say I want to calculate, let's say simple one, I want to calculate permeability. So just try to create a code which can calculate a permeability, right? So that's the first connection that you made from oil and gas to digitalization, right? So that's a very small thing that you did, but that will eventually grow, and you will do lot many things in there. You will create many visualizations. You will end up creating different kind of, let's say, dashboards or something, a kind of automation tool, that might replace something in industry later on. So as I said, it's all about making the steps. It's not all about that you keep traditional knowledge behind. It's digitalization, let me run behind.
Yeah.
It does not help.
Yeah, I agree. What advice would you give to current aspiring petroleum engineers?
So the advice, I guess, what I feel is I'm not at that stage to give an advice, but
From your from
a
your
sense of,
from your personal
yeah,
experience, yeah.
yeah. That's what I'm telling. So from whatever learnings that I got from my university or a short career, I would just like to tell that consistency, hard work, and the perseverance. These are the three pillars that you should always remember on. Do not miss any opportunities, as I mentioned earlier. Each and every opportunity is very important. Try to revise everything. Do not keep it behind. So let's say if I'm in industry right now, I should be keep myself brushed up with my knowledge, or I should be able to know what's happening into the industry. So that definitely should be there. One important thing is networking. Very, very important aspect in oil and gas industry. Networking is the most important thing I would say right now. When you seek out mentors, when you seek out somebody for a job, let's say, right? So
Yeah.
networking is something definitely helps. And one of the important tools that I would mention is LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn is a kind of a weapon or a kind of a very good tool that also again helps you to keep your confidence up. When you go to your profile and see what you have done throughout the years, you'll feel confident. Okay, I have done at least something good, right? So these are the small things that if you take care of, that will help you to feel good, when you are in your worst conditions or bad patch. So yeah, keep your basics very clear, and yeah, just do not give up at any stage. Yeah, there is a lot more remaining in oil and gas industry, I would say. There are many ways you can fit in, yourself.
Yeah. Thank you. I would add to be agile as well.
Yeah,
Can you
very true.
touch a bit on LinkedIn? I was actually out yesterday and a friend is looking for a job. And I go,
Mhm.
"What are you doing on LinkedIn?" He goes, I don't believe in LinkedIn." And I go, "What do you mean you don't believe in LinkedIn?" He goes, "I don't believe in it. I feel like it's really hit or miss." And I go, "No, not at all." So I assume there's a lot of people that think that way. And I was like, "No, there's a way, like you have to build a presence." And I was going on and on and on. So can you tell us more of how LinkedIn has helped you in your career? How did you
Ah,
start? How has it helped you? And like, can you try to encourage people or like give them
yeah.
advice on how to use it to their
Sure.
benefit more?
Yeah, sure. Would like to, start this conversation with a good, quote that I have quoted. I have not copied it from somewhere that
Okay.
make LinkedIn your new Instagram. Make LinkedIn
Yeah.
your new Instagram.
Okay.
So the times you open Instagram, replace it with LinkedIn. Try to
Yeah.
open LinkedIn as many as times as you can. So this is something that I followed when I back in 2018 when I was in my second year. But that time again, I just made my profile and left it. I was not active on LinkedIn. But when I, got this IPTC opportunity, I updated my profile, and that time I realized, how important, building your profile on LinkedIn and making your presence felt to the audience helps.
Hmm.
So again, I've seen people just making their profile and just put anything there and post, and they will post anything just to just trying to reach out. So again, this is not a Instagram that you'll get lot many likes and people will follow. This
Mhm.
is something that you have to influence people with what you have learned. Basically, if you are learning something good, share it with people. I do not oppose the people who post certifications or anything on there. So it's good. Again, that's not wrong, it's good. But what I'll just one thing that somebody can follow is, when you're posting something, try to post learnings from that experience, what you have learned. At least in 5 points, try to mention your learning. So if somebody is reading, they'll be able to identify what is the benefits of doing this, and they will try on their own. So this is a small thing that I used to follow. So during the COVID time as well, I started one initiative on LinkedIn that is posting the different kind of oil and gas terms, not the generic terms like porosity, permeability. No, the terms which are used on field, the terms which are used on field and that are not generally taught in your university classes.
Okay.
So in COVID, we were having lot of time, with us, and to do something new. So what I did is I started exploring different kind of terms from industry which are not taught in the class. And I collected those terms. I, explored many resources from the internet to create a little bit of content on them. And I thought that how I'm going to post it. I should not post it randomly. So I thought of, let me post it in an alphabetical order. So I just created a kind of initiative called Petro Alpha. That was the name of my initiative. So I started posting from A to Z, like one day A. So a term will be from A and there will be just 5 points, not just the whole description, that somebody will not love to read. Just 5 points regarding it, a picture relating to that. So I started posting it on alternate days, and I ended up with around 180 posts, when I stopped it. Why I
Wow.
stopped it? Then why I stopped this, the reason was, then you have this professional career that you are going in, so you have lot many responsibilities. So I tried to keep it, but yeah, I have to left it. But
That's
it's
okay.
still there on my
Okay.
LinkedIn.
Okay.
So this is the kind of thought that came in my mind, and I really got a very, very good response from lot many people that you're doing good on this. So these are something, small things that you can give to the people around there. Always maintain your profile, and keep it updated. Okay, keep it updated. Mention your skills. Try to get recommendations from the mentors. Let's say if I've done internship in
Mm,
a company, so when you leave that company, when you come back to your college, or let's say come back to your what you're doing, try to reach out that those people and try to seek recommendation from them,
mhm.
that how were you doing. It's not always about a good recommendation, it's always about a constructive recommendation. You can ask for that, this you did. So if, let's say, Saloma is visiting my profile, and if she's scrolling, so you'll be able to see, okay, he has worked under him, okay, so okay, these are the skills. So this help you to connect that he has worked under him or her, and he has
Yeah.
done such a good job, and that will attract, or let's say, that will interest someone to look more into you. So maintaining your profile very nicely, keeping it updated, and doing such kind of small initiatives, if you are if you are really passionate about doing that, really helps. Yeah.
Yeah, posting learning, that's a good one. There's like a previous guest, Lean Alaeddin. She was one of our earlier guests on Energy. If you know, you know. She does that a lot. Like she doesn't share frequently, but she does share field trips that she did during her master's,
Hmm. Yeah.
and the learnings from that, the learnings from where
Yeah.
she is currently
Yeah.
in her job. And I find them very insightful. So
Yeah.
I'm catching on to that trend.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Thank you for
And one more
yeah, yeah.
advice. When I connected Instagram, let me tell you how Instagram helps you here. So when you're posting, try to add hashtags. That hashtags
Okay,
will
yeah.
help you to
Yeah.
reach to many people, right?
Okay.
So take something good that is from Instagram.
Yeah. Where did you learn all these tricks? From your research?
Ah,
Did you do your research or did you get this information from mentors or kind of habit just scrolling through LinkedIn and checking out what people are doing?
yeah, this was something that was self-driven, I would
Yeah.
say. Again, a passion of telling a story, or let's say telling something that is more practical to wider audience. That
Mhm.
was always a thought. And again, scratching your brains in free time in COVID made me feel that I should do this, and I just started it. And that was very passionate, that I posted continuously for 2 years. I continuously posted for 2 years. Those content. I have to prepare that content. I have to frame statements. What can be good to what can be good read to someone. I have to find a connected photograph as well from the internet and try to frame it. Then have to post it, and to share it to some people who are in the community, some groups, and so this takes a time, right? This takes a time of yours, and sometimes you might feel, okay, I don't want to do it, let's just leave it. So that won't help, right? You have to be consistent. As I mentioned, consistency helps. So yeah.
Consistency is also a
Yeah.
key. So
i'm still
what
I,
advice?
I'm still planning to do something on LinkedIn, but I'm still in the thoughts, what new I can do. But yeah, it's again, it's not something that I want to do and you just do it. No,
Yeah,
think,
you want it to be
plan,
yeah.
execute.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It'll come. It'll come. What advice would you give those young professionals that want to start on LinkedIn? Where should they start?
Basically, the first thing is
Did I
just
say
try
Instagram? I meant
and
LinkedIn.
make a profile. Firstly, make a just 5 points I would add here. There's first, make your profile, add a good professional photograph. I'll just touch to the basics. Add a professional photograph, not the DP of your LinkedIn, sorry, not the DP of your Instagram or WhatsApp. So this little things will affect, when a professional will visit your profile, these little things will definitely be watched for, right? So that photograph is very important. You keep it very professional. uh, there is a section called info, where you write some info about you in, let's say 2 or 3 phrases or something. So do not write statements over there. Try to write phrases, or try to write words which relates to your role, right? Let's say if I'm a petroleum engineer, I'll keep petroleum engineer slash if there is a kind of a significant achievement in my career, let's say IPTC, so I'll write IPTC 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll keep a slash, then I'll write something else which is relating to my career, let's say. So if I'm a continual learner, I'll keep continual learner. If I'm attached to, let's say, CCUS, right? Let's say carbon capture storage. And so see, what I've done is I have told what I am, I have told what I'm looking for. I have also told what's my interesting topics that I'm looking for. So those small 5 to 6 words should tell a story about you, right? So
Okay.
try to mention it in points and try to uh, enter as many as skills you have relating to your role. So there is a skill set section. So if you will search on LinkedIn, you'll get many skills relating to you. So just try to pick and choose the skills which you are actually at, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you can put those skills, recommendation part, as I mentioned, and yeah, certificate posting. Yeah. So the posting is very important. Um, do not post everything, do not post each and everything there. Post relevant things. Also, when you are adding your certifications, add those relevant certifications. Now, if you have come first in a sports day in your in your college, do not, I mean, in your school, let's say, do not put that, right? So those things, might help, but try to keep it more professional, as I said. Yeah, so that these are small advices. And also when you are mentioning about your career line, right? So there is a section where your post is written, where are you working currently? So people just generally mention that and they do not mention what they do. So try to mention what you're doing in your current role,
Mm-hmm.
not exactly exposing the project name and
Yeah.
everything of the company details, no. But just try to tell them what you're actually doing. So that will help the person to know, okay, this person is doing this. And if I want to seek out for a help, or let's say if I want to collaborate on something, so these are little things that somebody can start off with, and then you'll be an expert, or I would say not an expert, but you'll learn a lot.
All right. Thank you. Those are very valuable advice. And finally, Parag, looking ahead, what are your aspirations and goals for the future of your career in the energy sector?
Okay. So talking about my career and career goals, as I mentioned, that I always want to stick with the oil and gas industry. There is no thought in my mind of going away from this industry. As I mentioned, there are futuristic opportunities in oil and gas industries itself. Definitely, I would like to explore them. I would learn more about them. I want to contribute in them. So using my foundational knowledge, I would like to explore those opportunities. And to reach those opportunities, you have to learn, right? So I want to continuously learn about different things, explore different opportunities in different areas of industry or different platforms. So yeah, I always want to keep myself stick with this industry and want to contribute as much as I can effectively, right, to the results and results. Yeah, that's what you work for.
Absolutely. Effectively is the key term there, for sure.
And you
But
want to actually affect the end result.
yeah,
You sitting here and working, you are working for some kind of an asset, or let's say some kind of an thing that is in another country they are working. So you ultimately want your decisions to get affected, and you want to improve the efficiency, or let's say you want to improve some numbers for them. So the decision making, or the efforts that you are putting in your project, or let's say anything, that should effectively affect the asset performance, right? The performance of something.
yeah.
So that's the way I want to keep on contributing.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. That's very important for especially the Gen Zs to they need to know they are making an impact somewhere, not just working on a project
Yes,
mindlessly, not
yes,
knowing whether the results or the information that they
yeah,
are jotting down, writing up are impacting or being used or not. Gen Z wants to know that whatever hours a day
yeah,
they're putting in is going to be seen somewhere else and that they're directly making an impact within their company.
yeah.
So that's a very good point. Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Saloma. So
Yeah.
as I mentioned, so if you if you are there, if you're not doing anything, there are lot many people who are waiting to grab them. So they'll actually
Yeah,
they
true.
will eventually grab it, and you are on the back seat again.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is
It's
how industry works, and this is how we
yeah,
work.
yeah. Well, this has been great, Parag. That
Yeah.
brings us to
Thank
the end. Thank you for highlighting your passion and how your passion drives your career and your continuous learning. I think some key point to highlight and for people to take as like a key takeaway is find a passion in the energy industry or even outside of the energy industry if that's not your interest, but continuously learn and grow, and you
yeah.
will go to high places. So I appreciate you telling your story with us today on energy. If you know, you know.
Thanks, Saloma. I would like personally like to thank you for providing this platform. This kind of platform definitely helps me to relearn myself, or revisit my journey, or this really helps in improving myself in upcoming opportunities. So yeah, really it was great talking to you, and if this would be able to help at least 0.1% of people, that would be very happy moment for me. Thank you.
I I hope so. And if this episode resonated with you, impacted you, please leave a review and a comment in the comment section and rate us. We'd highly appreciate it. You could also find Parag on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
and connect with him if you have any other questions.
Oh, sure, sure. Happy to connect anytime.
All right. Thank you so much, Parag. See ya.
Thanks, Saloma. Good night.